As we saw last night, their end was glorious. A stunning postseason run punctuated by arguably the greatest upset in the sport's history, a spellbinding spectacle that captivated almost 100 million American viewers, all leaning close to their sets. But for these New York Giants, the beginning will always be the thing, forged in those fires of an ugly 0-2 start. Left for dead, they were instead exhorted to new life by a quiet hero and inspired to walk a postseason tightrope by a man who no longer can. Rachel Nichols has more.
Touchdown! Marion Barber, what a run! What a catch by Owens as the Giants blew the cover. Driver, back line of the end zone. Touchdown to Sean Wynn!
Giants are 0-2 for the first time since 1996.
We was an 0-2 team, and we didn't know which way we was going to go in that game against Washington.
I think our team was a little down. You know, I think we were feeling a little sorry for ourselves.
But were we going to be the team from the year before, when we was 8-8 and had all these distractions and let things bother us, or was we going to overcome all that?
It would take a man who couldn't walk to show the Giants how to step forward. In a team meeting before their Week 3 game in Washington, Lieutenant Colonel Greg Gadson sat in front of the room and introduced himself as a former Army teammate of receivers coach Mike Sullivan. He shared the story of how he was injured in Iraq in May 2007, when he lost both of his legs after his Humvee ran over an explosive device set in the road.
A unit that I was responsible for training and making sure they were prepared, they saved my life. I mean, I'm in debt to my soldiers in that battalion. I mean, I was laying on the ground, you know, they took them, you know, they had to find me in the dark, you know, bleeding to death.
He's very, very powerful, and you understand exactly what's going on because he's in a real war. You know, people like to, you know, equate football with war, but it's not, you know, it's not like real bullets flying across your head and stuff.
I talked to him about how, you know, you're fighting for that guy that's right next to you. I mean, and just like, you know, my soldiers, you know, they came to, I mean, they fought for me, and they saved my life. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Team is selfless.
I'll never remember a room being that quiet. I mean, you could hear a pin drop as he spoke. It was very, very moving. It was a few tears in that room.
How did him speaking influence what kind of team you turned out to be?
Huge, to be honest with you, huge. I mean, it's easy to say that now, but you knew that day. You knew that day when you talked to us in Washington. It wasn't that we were just playing for ourselves, but a little bit of us was playing for him.
The Giants started slow against the Redskins, falling behind 17-3, but they rallied in the second half, capping the game with a last-minute defensive goal line stand.
And he stripped up and stopped short. Giants stopped him on 4th and goal.
Plaxico Burress celebrated his game-winning touchdown by giving Gadson the ball.
He could have easily kept it. And, you know, maybe that's when I became one of the Giants.
How did knowing Greg Gadson change the way you approached games?
Well, don't feel sorry for yourself. You know, just go out and, you know, do what you're able to do based on the circumstances that you're presented with. And we complain about, you know, little things. And here's a guy who, you know, is in a wheelchair.
Burress played the rest of the season with ankle and knee injuries, often calling and texting Gadson for support. But Gadson wanted to do more. Just before the underdog Giants wildcard game against Tampa, he was fitted for a new pair of prosthetic legs.
I was really kind of psyched to show the guys, you know, that I could walk, you know, because they'd only seen me in a chair. I was kind of in the lobby area, and I was just standing there, you know, with my legs standing tall.
You know, everybody had counted us down and counted us out, and we would come off the bus into the hotel, and he's standing there in legs, and I was just like, wow, you know, it was an amazing thing.
It shocked all of us. We just, you know, embraced them, and, you know, we knew right then we was going to win the game.
The Giants did win the game, and their next game against Dallas, and their next against Green Bay.
Lawrence Guys has kicked the Giants to the Super Bowl!
Where Gadson sat on the sidelines with them through bone-chilling temperatures.
He wanted to sit there right with us. And I think that, again, it goes back to the story when he told us. You know, he wasn't going to leave his troops, and his troops wasn't going to leave him.
And when Corey Webster made the overtime interception that paved the way for the Giants' trip to the Super Bowl, he immediately looked for Gadson.
He caught it. I mean, the biggest interception of his career. And he turns around and gives the ball to me. I mean, that is unselfish. And that's what the Giants are about.
If you guys win a Super Bowl, how much will Greg Gadson be part of that Super Bowl victory?
He might get up and start running.
Oh, a lot. Big time. He's going to get a ring. He's got to get a ring. If not, I think somebody might give him their ring.
Man, I'd give him my ring if I had to. They didn't give him one. I think he's been a tremendous help for us.
Rachel Nichols reporting, and a nice postscript here. Lieutenant Colonel Greg Gadson was able to accompany the Giants to Arizona and watch his adopted teammates pull their historic upset. And afterward, Giants coach Tom Coughlin acknowledged the Giants' most valuable 54th man.
He's a part of our team, and our players really enjoy having Greg with us because of, to be honest with you, what he brings to the table. He's a tremendous inspiration, a great leader, and our players can look at Greg and realize what he's been through and see how strong he is and how positive he is.
Osi Manura and Antonio Pierce said he should get a ring. What do you think?
I do too. I do too.